Okay, today is April the 19th, 2021. And of course, this is the 88th day of the illegitimate Biden presidency. And tonight we're looking at the water vapor map for the East Pacific. And we can see that the high pressure has begun to break down. We can see right here in the water vapor map this evaporation pattern as this moisture wants to move in. We see this spherical shaped, circular shaped high pressure, which then breaks down. And so the people in Northern California are probably seeing a lot of chemtrail aerosol spraying because of the pattern moving in there. If you look at the, if you take a look here at the Doppler map for California, we see there's a little bit of rain in this area from Medford down into portions of Northern California there in the very northern most area. And we see some rain over Reno, but that's about it. And so taking a look here, we see this swinging in, that frontal system is moving in and delivering rain. But out here, Southern California, we can't buy rain. The weather controllers have completely just blocked this area for the entire season. If we take a look at the surface analysis map for the East Pacific, we see a weather system here which is now changing direction. This was pointed and moving up towards Alaska here the last couple of days, and now it's moving back down to the south. And we have this stationary installed high pressure. This is a satellite generated high pressure system. This has been here moving around all winter long, and that has blocked the rain that we should have had this season. Now, this year I mentioned we had just a hair over 5 3/4 so far, and we're well past the halfway mark for April. Now, last year, just to recap, the 2019-2020 season, we had 23.45 inches. That's great. That's above average. The year before that, the 18 and 19 season, we had the grand total of 31.51 inches of rain. And back in 2017 and 18, we had 10.87. And then back in 16 and 17, 2016 and 17, we had 21.8 inches. So we had plenty of rain, interestingly, throughout the Trump years. We were putting a lot of pressure using these videos to point out the obvious manipulation. And now that Biden is installed, as I mentioned in the caption last night, we've seen an abrupt and astonishing change in the weather patterns for the West Coast and California, and mainly the Eastern Pacific weather pattern, where we have this constant high pressure, stationary high pressure, as we can see here. Look at the evaporation pattern. It just, I'll leave the pen here. This was like this for a few days. Nothing was getting past that one area. And then we see the ball is deflating. That is, the satellite transmitter's transmitting power is pulled back. And so when that happens, we see that the weather wants to move where it usually moves in the northern hemisphere, and that's from the west to the east. This is not rocket science. This is just very basic stuff we're looking at here. And we can see that right there, that that's exactly what happened the last several days. Now, as this moisture begins to move in, we may wake up tomorrow morning here in the central and southern California area, as this little area swings down. We may see some aerosols in the skies, these chemtrail aerosols. And of course, those are sprayed to prevent any chances of rain that were not scheduled by the weather controllers. Of course, when you've got people betting hundreds of millions on weather derivatives, you sure don't want to make mistakes, because things can get out of hand and you can lose a lot of money. So the whole idea here is to make a lot of money And to hell with the weather and the farmers and the people breathing the air. Who cares? These people all live in nice coastal areas, miles away from where we're living. So, but there it is. So let's go ahead and take a look next at and notice Hawaii. One thing you'll notice about the Hawaiian Islands, we have a very large, the Pacific Fleet is stationed out here on Oahu, and hurricane after hurricane we saw, miss Hawaii over the last 5 years. Hawaii is protected, and that's why we know this is a U.S. operation. That is the modification of our weather. Hawaii is always protected. Now, they've run hurricanes right up towards the Big Island, and they superheat them at the last moments, kind of like what we saw with that Hurricane Patricia, which was a Category 5, with 210 mile per hour winds, which did a U-turn and hooked back into the mainland, and they superheated that right as it made landfall and completely destroyed it. The whole idea with destroying hurricanes with satellite transmitters is you disrupt the lift in the vortex. All the power of the hurricane is derived from the low pressure in the vortex. And once you disrupt the lift in the vortex of a hurricane or a tornado for that matter, there is no lift, and the entire weather system collapses. The pressure raises, and that's it. That's exactly how you control the weather. And that's one facet of it. And so here we see once again the high pressure breaking down. Let's go ahead and look at the continental U.S. We see thunderstorm activity over Florida and down here near Cuba, and also over Texas. We can take a look here at the Doppler map for the southern part of the U.S. And so we have rain, scattered showers. Look at this donut rain pattern just east of Austin, Texas. That's kind of interesting. I took a photograph just about a month ago, and I'm going to share that here on one of these videos coming up. And there we go. Brighten that up a little bit. Anyhow, I took a picture of the sky. I saw a very strange cloud formation where there was a circular hole, a perfect circle going right through a developing system, a rising column of air. Anyhow, I'll share that at one of these next videos. Here we see some rain from looks like about Austin, Texas area, all the way over towards past New Orleans over to Pensacola. So we've got some showers there. And then down here in the Miami area, we see some fairly strong thunderstorms right over Key West and some of these keys along here. And in the Miami area, we see these strong cells right just hovering right over the North Miami area. Okay, so that's that, and there's not much else going on. You see, we have snow actually in the Denver area and Colorado Springs area, which is nice to see. I wish I was there. We haven't had any winter here in the Southern California area. Our entire winter amounts to about 2.5 weeks, and that was mostly just cold weather with some clouds and maybe a little bit of rain here and there. We actually, looking at the list here for this year, our biggest rain event was January 28th and 29th. We had 2.29 inches. All right, and then December 27th and 28th we had 1.32 inches, and those were the two big events. And then we had on March 9th, 10th, and 11th we had 1.19 inches. So that's it. The rest of it was just little sprinkles here and there that amounted to maybe 1/4 inch here and a few hundredths there. 0.2 inches on March 15th. We had 2 100ths on a couple of days after that. I think that was Anyway, yeah, so we've had a 5.78 inches. That's it for the year. And that's all because of the massive weather manipulation project that's been going on for many years. So there's a reason why these jets spray these long streaks through the skies, and they do it at precise times when moisture is moving in, and they'll use the chemtrail aerosols. That's one of the tools in the toolbox. Or they will just simply create a high pressure dome like what we're seeing right there, and then they'll change it up to pull the power off of that satellite, and then we'll see the moisture move in like what we're seeing right here. It starts to move the way it normally would from west to east. So here is one of the, this is another pressure map showing that high that just sits there all winter long. The center of the high moves up and down, but it's always there. Here we have a low. This moved away from a couple of days ago when we had those winds that start up at about 5 in the morning, high pressure adjacent to the low pressure. They do that to disrupt the lift and prevent the rain over California. That's what they do. These lows move through and they put high pressure right adjacent to the vortex, and it disrupts the lift, and we don't get any rain. We get wind though, because if the high is positioned here, we've got counterclockwise going this way. The high, of course, is descending clockwise there, and you get that pressure differential, which blows the wind to the south and west. Now, if they stick the high on the other side, then you get the wind going the other way. Okay, so that's how that works. This is just another. This is a 500 millibar map, I believe it is, showing this sort of a trough there. To get back to the satellite map, we can see we've got this huge weather system here, which was moving up towards the Aleutian Islands. That map I think I just showed is I'm not sure what the data on that is. Here we are. This is the surface analysis map. I've shown this already. It shows a developing gale here and a trough shown there, but we've got these highs strategically positioned all around, which will prevent anything from happening. And this is really quite amazing. I haven't watched the news, by the way. None of us have watched the mainstream news since November the 3rd because of the massive amount of corruption going on. We are absolutely incensed and disgusted with the whole thing. The whole thing is just garbage. The Supreme Court, and I'm going to rant about this, so if that's too bad if you don't want to hear it, but we're in deep crap here in this country. We're in deep crap, and it doesn't look like there's any help on the way. So it's up to all of us to keep the faith and to do the right thing. And if doing the right thing means fighting for what's right, then that's what we're going to have to do. So anyhow, there it is. We'll try to get another update here real soon. And like I say, this may bring some moisture in, this deflating high pressure. And so tomorrow we may see the jets up spraying those chemtrail aerosols. Okay, so that's it. We'll try to get another update real soon.